Welcome to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis, where every day I aim to bring you the latest in UFO reports and other fascinating stories from around the globe. Today is Wednesday, March 14th, 2018, and on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, join me for my talk show, The Outlander, where I answer your emails, take your calls, and interview some intriguing guests. And when it comes to everything from aliens to angels, personally, I'm someone who has been there, seen that, freaked out, found some answers, wrote about it, got over it, and now I'm hoping to help others do the same thing and understand this wild world that we live in. Just go to HeidiHollis.com for more information and IRNchat.com to chat, interact, and listen live to The Outlander Show. Blasting off with some UFO reports because we always enjoy delving into these unedited versions of ourselves. I don't know where that came from. All right. UFO sighting in Jackson, New Jersey. This is a slight UFO blast from the past. This occurred May 14th, 2013. I took a picture of the sun a couple of days before I went to NASA to do a job, and when I looked at the picture, I caught something. I was building clean rooms for scientists, and I was putting together a clean room for the James Webb Telescope for NASA a month before I left in May. I noticed it was hotter than usual, so I looked up and saw the biggest corona around the sun, and I could see the flames on the sun, so I took a picture with my phone. And I saw something I can't explain. That was one giant sentence with not a period, just so you know. I was trying to breathe and pace it out. When I arrived at NASA, I noticed the scientists had 3 big screen TVs with the sun. They had a good size group talking about it. I have more, but I want to speak to someone. Okay, let's click on this one, right? We got to see this one. We got to see if this picture of the sun has been granted to us by the MUFON gods. Oh! It has not been granted, everybody. MUFON Ixnay, that one. Dang it all to heck. What is going on? I just get tired of looking and there's nothing there. Would you guys just let them go through, please? Just, come on. I'm reading this stuff for a reason. All right, next one. UFO sighting in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Slight blast from the past. This happened August 16th, 2016. Sensed it coming over my right shoulder. Looked to see it coming down over the power lines 2 feet from me in mid of road, me on sidewalk. Stayed at chest level. What are we talking about here? Stayed on road, turned right at stop sign, and continued down the road. I was shocked as Hazel, he says, but he says Hel double hockey sticks. Okay, we're going to read this in more detail. I left my Dartmouth, Nova Scotia apartment for work about 5:40 a.m. as per usual. Oh my, that is an ungodly hour. It was a warm summer morning, though the sun wasn't up yet. I walked uphill on the sidewalk when I reached the corner. I don't know how, but I sensed something aerial over my right shoulder. I stopped, looked, and I saw an orb, above the middle of the road and power lines. It descended pretty slowly. When it got to my chest level, it never deviated from it again. I was staring in awe as it passed me, turned right at the stop sign, well, at least it followed the road signs, and went on slowly down the road. No one was around the whole time. Don't you hate that? I wanted to point it out to others, but no house lights were on. No cars passed, and foot traffic was non-existent. I was excited. I now knew something was out there. I had no cell phone for a picture. Who doesn't have a cell phone? This is 2016. And no net to catch it. I thought I could jump right on it, but will die. But will I die? Okay. The fact I can't prove it rots me. That must mean destroys you. The incident changed me. I felt freaked out for at least 3 months after. It was slightly traumatic. I'm so happy it happened because now I know things are out there. Now the question of what the hazel it is will never leave me, and I await full UFO disclosure with even more anticipation than ever. Now, I want answers for personal closure as well. You know, those of us have seen these things. Excuse me, my voice. We all want the disclosure. This is why we're so angry. This is why we put on these UFO events. This is why we have these shows because we've seen this stuff and we know what's going on. Perhaps, perhaps we should have a UFO rally. Perhaps we should have a UFO rally. How about them apples? How about that? If you agree, write me at dusoutlander@gmail.com. D as in David, S as in Sam, Outlander@gmail.com. UFO rally on Washington. What do you think about that? Rallies are really popular these days, whether they're arranged by the Russians or Putin, Trump, who knows, maybe Obama and Hillary got some in there, and that little Bernie fella, maybe Yoda did it too. Kind of related to Bernie. I mean, these rallies are happening and hopping, and they're getting responses. So, UFO rally on the plaza. Let's do it. I will be your MC. Let's roll. Let's roll. As long as I got some Starbucks coffee, I will be good. All right. I'm not kidding, though. It needs to be done. I mean, we all get angry about this because we experience these things. We're like, I am not crazy. These same eyeballs drive me everywhere I go. My eyes can be trusted to know I saw something in the sky. They really can. And I think that ignoring our credibility and all that, it's not cool. It is not cool, people. We need to be heard. Heard and seen. Say it loud, say it proud. Okay, next. UFO sighting in North Platte, Nebraska. This occurred March 2nd, 2018. Object with 4 balls colored red and green. Got home from work, got out of my truck, and seen this hovering in the sky. Had 4 lights on it, blinking red and to green, and then moved around, making impossible maneuvers, it seemed. I recorded it on my cell phone, and it flew away and then quickly disappeared, and then 1 minute later came back for 2 more minutes, and I recorded it again. I'm hoping to get an answer what I saw. If someone could tell me what this was, that would be great. You know what that means? That means there's a video they submitted. Now, would the powers that be at MUFON allow for it? Oh, there's a video, people. Let's hope it's a good, juicy one, but we all know usually it's not if MUFON allowed it on the website to show up. Okay, I'm going to press play. Hold on here. Bleep. It appears to be a dot in the sky, in a darkened sky. He's cussing his butt off. F-bombs, F-bombs. It's a effing UFO, man, he's saying. Oh, it's changing colors. Okay, this is pretty cool. There goes, boy, he's really good at F-bombs. For some reason, wow. Okay, it's a pretty dramatic, multicolored, and shape-shifting looking type of thing. And my video is freezing in the midst of his F-bombs. So I might have to close it out. That's all good. But yeah, check that one out. That was pretty fantastic. Next UFO sighting. Black airplane hovering tree level. Okay, I have not heard of black airplanes hovering. Tail section marked 2 white stripes cased in red stripes. Windows across nose. Brown cloud appeared at this time. Was Family Guy there? Did he rip something? Every night, 3 yellow figures would appear. Every night, from tree. Lasted, 1.5 weeks. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I'm going to read what it says more in detail. Outside smoking a cigarette, I looked up and saw it. A small black airplane. Air Force Vietnam Nam Vet. Okay, so they're an Air Force Vietnam vet. A mini F-4 jet had silver-colored glass on 3 windows on nose. Could not see inside. On top of tail had emblem on top, could not make out. Middle of tail had 2 white stripes in the middle with red stripe on top and bottom. Looked like it couldn't be more than 21 to 2 to 3 feet high. Nose of the plane was pointing towards tree. Also had a strange looking cloud that appeared about this time. Just hovering, and no noise coming from the plane. I looked down, looked up, and it and the cloud was gone. For about a week, 3 yellow lights appeared in the tree. Lights were about a foot long and about 10 inches in diameter. They would go west, east, and south. After this ended, branches in the tree started dying. P.S. That's all. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting way of putting a report. It's like in little splotches. I just wish it was fluid. So it was an airplane that didn't make any noise and just hung there and could apparently manifest in a brown cloud and disappear with it. Doesn't that kind of sound like, like when people see like Civil War uh, soldiers marching, like almost like frozen in time or just marching along? It's like a glimpse in time. I wonder if this is what that was. He said a mini F-4 jet. A mini F-4 jet. So it's a tiny F-4 jet. I mean, it just makes you think, but then why the weird lights afterwards? Huh. I don't get it. That's a doozy. I've never heard of such a thing. All right. Well, I have heard of UFOs that kind of look like a jet that didn't act like a jet. So, I don't know. UFO sighting in Glen Cove, New York. This occurred February 26, 2018. Objects seem to have been hovering in the dark. It turned on a purple light, and it flew north faster than a plane or copter for a quarter mile, turned lights off, and disappeared. We were standing by my car in front of my friend's house at 9 p.m. talking about getting together again. We began to face southwest as we talked when the object suddenly turned its light. Turned its light. I don't know if they said turned it on. It looked like a bright purple globe. It seemed to have been hovering at 1,500 feet or more, then turned on its light and flew about 2 miles north at lightning speed. We wondered if it had been there spying on us. I felt a bit of an ache in my eyes and in my head as I stared at it. I am not sure why. The object was spherical and had a bright purple glow. As soon as its lights turned on and became visible, it flew at lightning speed about 2 miles from south to north. And then it shut its lights off and vanished. That's the kicker, isn't it? Why do UFOs have lights? We would not see them if they didn't turn their lights on. Do they need them so they don't crash into each other like airplanes? I would think that they have better like sensory systems to say, hey, George the alien's to your left and about 5,000 feet to your right, there goes Harry. Wouldn't they know? Do they need to have their lights on? I think they do it on purpose so we do get a good look at them. So we can we can give them those googly eyes like, wow, and they zoom in and probably Instagram it or something. Just saying. Instagram UFO alien style. Insta UFO. All right. Okay. It seemed to curl, as if making a turn to go back south or west, but once the lights were completely off, we could not see if it was still there hovering. We were feeling shocked, but not scared by what we
You're just waking up and already have a million things on your plate. Why not put meal planning on autopilot? With Terra's Kitchen, meals are delivered weekly and ready in under 30 minutes. That's less time than your daily commute. We prep ingredients so there's no washing, chopping, or measuring. Terra's Kitchen. We prep, you cook. Now delivering delicious, healthy meals to your neighborhood. Click the banner to save $30 on your first order.
I saw and began to laugh a bit nervously. I asked my friend, "Did you see that?" She said, "Yes. I was going to ask you if it was a shooting star." Ooh, a purple shooting star. I answered, "If it was purple." Oh, the stars are white. And it was bigger than the stars and faster than a plane or helicopter. "I think we saw a UFO," she said. "That's what I saw too," I said to her. "I'm glad you saw it, or I would have thought I was losing my mind had I been alone." We knew it was not a shooting star nor a plane or helicopter because it moved a long distance at speeds we'd never seen aircrafts fly in the air before. I live near JFK Airport and know the speed of a plane as they fly over our house. Yeah, those tricky eyes, you know. How many people doubt their eyeballs so they don't report things or don't take it serious? Like, pfft, my eyes are playing tricks on me. I don't believe them. Oh, I wonder if there's any aliens on their planet looking at our blue planet going, "There's no intelligent life down there because there's way too much water. Hello." Sounds a little bit ridiculous, huh? We are made of mostly water. I wonder what aliens are made out of. Hmm. I have to catch one sometime. Have a looky, see. Oh, there's videos that aren't there. Okay, anyways, here we go. UFO sighting in Redditch. Redditch. Okay. This occurred November 5th, 2017. They look like orbs. I looked outside on bonfire night and saw 4 orbs in a line from east to west. They were close together. The second orb from the right started moving towards the orb on the far right. It was glowing a golden color at the bottom and looked like it was going to drip this golden color as it was collecting at the bottom of the orb. They put a question mark. This is when I went to get my camera. When I came back, the orbs were interacting with each other, and I took a few photos. I was really bamboozled, I like that word, by what I was looking at and just watched them for several minutes. I looked away several times in bewilderment, and they disappeared. I'm surprised they didn't disappear straight away. All right, let's try to click on this one, shall we? Let's see about her bamboozled situation here. Oh, wow. MUFON, man, we are just striking out. Why? 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 Why are these pictures not being contributed when they say they took a picture? That clearly indicates they had one. Hmm? Oh, it just hurts me right there. Right there. Okay. All right. UFO sighting in Hemel Hempstead, England. This occurred March 2nd, 2018. Sonic boom type sound in Hemel Hempstead. Nobody seems to care about it. It must be the U.S. government's paying a visit because that's what we're getting over here. Hi, I'd like to. Oh, they're friendly. Hi, I'd like to report an incident yesterday which I think was odd, out of the ordinary, and I would describe as a UFO type case I'd like to submit. I live in Hemel Hempstead and was walking home from Jarmaines Park at about 2:45 p.m. It was a very cold and snowing below 0 degrees. Me and a guy from college was walking across the footbridge to the shops and cinema, gym, skate park, etc. Saw a black helicopter speed past overhead. See, I told you. I thought the black helicopters were just ours. I don't know. Oh, okay, it was the U.S. government over there. It was odd because of the condition and the speed. Because of the conditions, weather conditions and the speed. I know they do travel fast, but this was into the horizon in under a minute. We joked about it, likely an incident due to the weather. Oh, that they'll have an accident. I left and went to look in H&M, the store, in Riverside, in Marlowe's, at roughly 2:15, 2:25 p.m. I can't be sure of the time because my phone turned off as it was cold. Very fine, icy pellets were coming down. I walked across the footbridge when I heard a type of high-pitched whoosh and then a high-pitched boom up in the sky atmosphere. It's hard to describe all of this, but here goes it. It seemed to emanate from the southwest. It wasn't all around, but more focused sound and up in the atmosphere. The sky was a steely gray off-white color. The sound was bizarre. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of the booms phenomena from a few years back in the UK and USA. I remember hearing it twice when I was still at school, both during the night. It seems to make a high-pitched, hardly audible whooshing, then boom. It wasn't anything normal like a building site, etc., and other odd things. Everything seemed to go still during the couple of seconds. Also odd was the ground and windows shook slightly. Not a violent shake, more of a gentle echo, as if tapped steadily and vibrating. I was amongst, say, a dozen people. I asked if they heard that. The general response was they look at you as if you're a lunatic or ain't got time for that nonsense. I looked over the bridge to below. Nobody seemed to look up or around or notice this event. It was truly weird. I waited in the area for a few minutes when I saw two black helicopters go past in the direction of the boom. This is really odd to me. Not just because of the weather conditions and timing, but two flying close by side, not one after the other. I have contacted a few sources, the local newspaper, police, and shopping center, but as you'd guessed, all three have been dead losses. The local paper said it doesn't deal with stories like that, and he sarcastically said, "Go to the FBI with it?" What? Huh. The police said they don't deal with things like that anymore as it's a waste of their time. The shopping center said report it to the police if it concerns me that much. How can nobody not hear this and not be curious? What was it? What caused it? Nothing, just blank faces and couldn't give a freaking flying blah 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 attitude back to my Facebook page. At least they got back to me quickly, but I don't know. I heard what I heard and like to submit this and see where it goes. I'll tell you guys, I was a college student, and one time my sister came over to visit me, and we're standing outside, myself, her, and a friend, and right above us, it sounded like a loud tearing sound, like, when you rip paper, but amplify that by 100,000. It was like, shh, right over our heads, and it just kept going, like, shh, shh, just ripping the sky. We all ducked, like we're looking up, like something is tearing open. It was weird, and never had an explanation for that, and so odd. Like we never talked about it again after that. And when I brought it up to my sister, she doesn't remember it. That's weird. So something happened. Maybe the UFO was taken off. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to talk about some odd things here. I just came across this. That's the end for UFO stories, by the way. These 27 historical facts are almost too weird to be real, but they're all true, even the last one. Ooh, what's the last one? All right, so I'm just going to read these off. So history is a vast subject, to be sure, and with little time to cover it all, plenty of things get swept aside in favor of the bigger stories like World War II and the Louisiana Purchase. Those things are certainly interesting stories, but they've got nothing on these wacky facts that were dug up from this awesome website. Turns out there's a lot more history than we previously thought, is what they say. Numero uno. Albert Einstein could have been president of Israel when it was formed, but he declined. And that's something. That's an interesting fact. Before dentures were invented, teeth were pulled from the mouths of dead soldiers for use as prosthetics. That's disgusting, and they're showing a picture. Ugh. Roman Emperor Gaius, also known as Caligula, made one of his favorite horses a senator. Oh, he could make one president then. There's a giant mushroom in Oregon's Malheur National Forest with a root system that covers over 2,200 acres, making it the largest living organism in the world. I love me a good mushroom, I'm just going to say, and I'm tempted to go there to try the tastiest and probably most well preserved system of mushrooms. Ooh. All right, so anyways. In 1929, researchers at Princeton University claimed that they had turned a living cat into a telephone. That's nasty. Okay? That's nasty. Number 6. Heroin was once a perfectly acceptable medicine prescribed by doctors for everything from coughs to headaches. Oh, that'll take it out. That'll take out everything. Your life. Wipe that straight off. While Pope Gregory was in power, he declared that cats were to be associated with devil worship and had them exterminated in droves. Not a healthy way of thinking. It's believed that the disappearance of those cats helped rats spread the bubonic plague or Black Death that killed hundreds of millions of people in the 1300s. Blame the Pope, everybody. Blame the Pope. Russian dictator Joseph Stalin often had photos retouched to remove people who had died or been removed from office. Oh, there's a thought, Trump. Get Rex out and toss whomever else out of the picture. Oh, these are funny. They're showing the pictures and bloop, there goes one. Bloop, there goes two. Bloop, bloop, bloop. All of a sudden, it's just him standing there looking debonair. Whoa, what is this? Oh, this is just not cool. Chinese women, well, I've heard of this, but I've never seen it. Chinese women used to painfully bind their feet to make them appear smaller and more feminine. And I am not kidding you. I've never seen. Their feet are literally wrapped underneath themselves with just their big toes sticking out. Wow. I did not ever see underneath the binds. Oh my goodness. I could not imagine. Talk about a corn hurting you. That's a whole knuckle of pain. My goodness. Okay, anyways. The shortest war in history was the Anglo-Zanzibar War. It lasted just 38 minutes. Wow, it destroyed things, though. Former North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il was said to be a great lover of music and composed 6 operas while he was in office. Oh, he was serious about it, huh? My goodness. The Leaning Tower of Pisa was actually never straight to begin with. The foundation began to sink when they started on the 2nd floor. Are you serious? I, do you know how many stories of lean that is? And the lean is getting worse, so they continue to build and thought people will just adjust and get used to it. That has to be that'd be a heck of a place to go walking through. Okay, anyways. Ronald Reagan is best known for being president and acting in numerous films, but he was also a prolific lifeguard who saved 77 people from drowning. Well, that's a real hero right there. Oh, this looks gross. Researchers believe that the famous Guanajuato mummies' terrible expressions are the result of the victims being buried alive. Oh. These are horrifying to look at. Ugh. Klerksdorp spheres are strange objects that have been dug up near Oudesdaal in South Africa. The spherical objects are billions of years old, and no one has been able to fully explain the markings on their sides. Billions? Come on now. You could tell these are tool markings. What are those? I've never heard of those things. A famous Native American named Blackbird.
You're just waking up and already have a million things on your plate. Why not put meal planning on autopilot? With Terrace Kitchen, meals are delivered weekly and ready in under 30 minutes. That's less time than your daily commute. We prep ingredients so there's no washing, chopping, or measuring. Terrace Kitchen. We prep, you cook. Now delivering delicious, healthy meals to your neighborhood. Click the banner to save $30 on your first order.
Was said to have loved his horse so much that he was buried sitting on top of it. Oh, well, he was a handsome guy there. Before there were alarm clocks, there were knockers up. They were hired to shoot dried peas from a blowgun at people's windows in order to wake them up in the morning. And they show this lady with her hand on her hip and a big straw aiming. That's a job I would have loved to have. Oh, that is funny. She had to be good at it, though. Okay. And I'm going to do the very last one because they said the last one is a good one. So let's go there, shall we? Or should I just save it for the next one? I'll save it for the next one because these are really good because we've already come to the bottom of the show. Can you believe that? It's just crazy. It just flies, everybody. It just flies. So I have to tell you, thank you so very much for listening to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis, and be sure to check out UFOHeadlineNews.com every single day, and also tune into my other 2 weekly shows, The Outlander on Fridays, and I co-host on The Kevin Cook Show every Tuesday. Both shows are at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and see my paranormal comic, The Outlanders, at theoutlanderscomic.com, and direct links can be found to everything I mentioned here at HeidiHollis.com. Or just come on over to InceptionRadioNetwork.com. And remember, if you've experienced something out of the ordinary and want some level-headed advice, or if you've seen a UFO and want to share, please write me at UHN@InceptionRadioNetwork.com. Remember, always you keep an open mind out there so you can stay informed and inspired.
You're just waking up and already have a million things on your plate. Why not put meal planning on autopilot? With Terrace Kitchen, meals are delivered weekly and ready in under 30 minutes. That's less time than your daily commute. We prep ingredients so there's no washing, chopping, or measuring. Terrace Kitchen. We prep, you cook. Now delivering delicious, healthy meals to your neighborhood. Click the banner to save $30 on your first order.